First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Experience holiday cheer at Tanger Outlets with savings up to 70% off your favorite brands. From fragrances to accessories and the latest styles, discover the best gifts for everyone on your list. Save big at Nike Factory Store, Michael Kors, Under Armour, Coach, Polo Ralph Lauren, Kate Spade New York, and so many more. Unwrap the best at Tanger Outlets. Hundreds of brands, endless gifting options. Plan your trip at Tanger.com.
All right. On the line right now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Jeremy Rosenthal and the Rosenthal Report.
The Rosenthal Report!
I really never expected the drums there, but okay. Jeremy.
That's because we missed him last week.
Jeremy Rosenthal, good morning.
I didn't expect the drums either. Nice touch.
Yeah,
I got to change it up.
Nice.
You can't always have the same thing over and over.
Well, and Hard, he's a percussionist. So, all right, Jeremy, good morning. We take 3 legal stories and throw them at you. I love this segment, and here we go. Let's start with this one. Topic number 1, Jordan Neely's dad files lawsuit against Daniel Penny after the subway chokehold. Different than criminal, but filing a lawsuit. What do you think?
I think it's going to be interesting. This suit was filed before the verdict. So at the time, it was just sort of compounding his problems. Still is. Look, just like with OJ, the standard is different. In criminal cases, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. In a civil case, it's beyond a preponderance. So Daniel Penny may not win this, but I'll tell you what he was acquitted of was the lowest form of criminal negligence. So he may win this as well, but he's not completely off the hook. And the book deal he's about to sign and the book tour that he's about to go on, maybe that all goes to the Neely family. We'll have to wait and see there.
This one it's such a tough case because we've all, I don't know that we've all, but I've certainly been in a situation where someone, and actually I've been in a scenario on the subway where someone was having an episode and it was pretty scary for everybody. Everybody, for the most part, is looking down, don't make eye contact. It never became...
Please don't come to me. Please don't come to me.
It never became violent. This ended up getting there, and you wonder, had he not done anything, if everybody would have been okay and gone their merry way and off to work. You kind of wonder.
That's what makes this case so fascinating. I mean, look, this thing was a real super duper flashpoint, and it had it all. You're talking about security, safety, self-defense. You're talking about mental illness, homelessness, safety on the subways. Yeah. And it was just such a super flashpoint. And not only that, I'll tell you this much. There's a lot of cases that I see him come across, public cases, and they're slam dunks, right? You're talking documents cases. You're stealing money here. You know, the money goes from here and then magically splashes in your bank account 2 days later, right? I mean, there's a lot of paper cases that are really just sort of teed up. Yeah. This thing could have gone either way. There was a lot of reasons to acquit Daniel Penny, and there were a lot of reasons to convict the guy too. This thing could have gone either way, and that jury fought long and hard in this case. To a certain degree, I'm kind of a little surprised that he walked on everything, but
I know.
His lawyers were really able to get the jury to identify with Daniel Penny over Jordan Neely, and I think that was pretty important.
It is that time in our political world right now, don't you think? I mean, where we've had so much lawlessness, bail reform, and all of these things we're dealing with. I do think the average New Yorker, the average person, is like fed up. Like enough is enough. We need some normalcy on our streets, and maybe that played a role.
For sure, I think that people definitely could identify with. Again, I think you had a lot of people on the left and a lot of people on the right, and everybody is in a way, to be just as poetic as I can for the Rosenthal Report. aren't we all just sort of on that subway train together?
Yeah,
that's an excellent point.
That was very good. That was
very
good.
good.
If only we had a harp. Okay, the angels are singing with you. All right, topic number 2. New LA DA is promising, and again, this is along that line of lawlessness, it seems, promising a hard middle approach to restore law and order. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what a hard middle approach is.
We're going to prosecute some crime. We're not going to prosecute others.
I'm aggressively right in the middle. And exactly, you're right. So George Gascon, who was the DA in LA, he's a Cuban immigrant. He's former LAPD, former San Francisco DA, was the DA in Los Angeles, had some really, really ultra progressive measures that he was taking to what he thought could solve a lot of LA's crime issues. And think what you will about Los Angeles, it's got some super duper problems. And so he was, some of the things like you just mentioned, bail reform was one of his big ones. Eliminating cash bail on nonviolent crimes, trying to clean out the jails, but he wouldn't prosecute juveniles as adults. He wouldn't seek the death penalty. And he also was very liberal on dismissing what he called just sort of lifestyle crimes for people who couldn't afford, like you steal baby milk and they're going to look the other way type of stuff. And so he was extremely unpopular with his own office, and the voters tossed him out big in favor of the aggressively middle guy. So it's a really interesting story just to see kind of where a city like LA is sort of landing in the year 2024.
It is, and boy, the way California goes, New York seems to either be just ahead of them or just behind them. So it'll be interesting to see if we begin to see changes here in New York to that, all of it coming from downstate in the city, by the way. Topic 3. And by the way, these topics are great topics for you because you used to be a prosecutor, now a defense attorney. An elementary school janitor suing now after he was wrongfully imprisoned for 5 years after a woman he claims is mentally ill lied when she told police he was raping children.
Oh, this is rough.
Yeah.
This is a really, really hard story. And to me, I don't know why it took him 5 years to get to trial. That to me is kind of the hard part here. And I mean, when you're arrested, you can bail out. Again, probably bail was set too high for him because they think he's a child molester, and so they don't want him on the streets. Shouldn't take you 5 years, regardless of where you are. I mean, you should be able to get to your trial. And look. In cases that I have, if it's a big deal, I mean, it's not uncommon for somebody in custody 8 months, 10 months, maybe in certain instances over a year if it's a real high-profile kind of a murder case.
5 years.
5 years is that's a long time. Yeah. And look, his lawsuit's probably not going to go anywhere because look. These cases are extremely subjective. Yeah. And you're always going to have when there's an outcry from a child, even from an adult that says a child told me this. Yeah. I mean, they're going to jump on this and take it as seriously as a heart attack. And to win a lawsuit like this, you have to prove that those guys, that the prosecution was cheating, that they were framing you, that they intentionally violated your rights. And that is such a hard standard to do. Yeah, and probably a lot of this delay is going to be on him and his lawyers. I hate saying it, but that's probably true.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. All great stories. And Jeremy, we appreciate it. As always, the Jeremy Rosenthal Report. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, guys. Do I get outro drums or no? No drums on the out.
There it is.
There we go. All right.
It's almost like a seal has just placed the ball on its nose. All right, good stuff, Jeremy. We'll do it again. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good week.
Jeremy Rosenthal.
Good man there.
That rim shot type.
Yeah, I almost did that.
Okay, all right. Well, that would be humorous.
Yeah, right.
Not sure this last story was humorous.
No.
I got to tell you something, though. I really believe, and I should have asked him his thoughts on this. If you get accused of something and your
reputation's destroyed.
It destroys you forever, something like this.
Especially that.
And you look the part.
Correct.
You're screwed.
Oh, yeah.
If you're accused
ugly,
of something and you're ugly,
guilty.
Ugly people are at a disadvantage in the in the court system.
That's why they're saying this Luigi. I mean, women on TikTok are falling for this Luigi.
Oh, it's
Mangione.
unbelievable!
Like
the crap
let
we're
him out
listening
of prison.
to.
Ugh.
He's too cute to be. Give me a break.
Yeah.
That's why the Wicked Witch of the West. It was very difficult for her over the years. Now, had she been accused of doing something badly, people would be like, "Oh my God, look at her!
Look at her, she's ugly."
She of course did it.
That Glinda, she's just a goody two shoes.
She's very nice. She would never do anything wrong. Ugly people are at a very big disadvantage, or people who look like pedophiles.